Hey, good evening, everyone. In fact, I always make this mistake. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are tuning in from in the world. My name is Naomi Empowers, and it's my privilege to be able to welcome you to another episode of the Naomi Empowers Show. We do this every Sunday at 8 p.m. British Summer Time, 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast in the USA, or midday if you are on the West Coast. This is your weekly opportunity to get a dose of inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. Here we're always talking about life lessons. You see, I believe that there is great value in the shared knowledge and the shared wisdom that is within our community. But too often we fail to share that wisdom and knowledge. And so too many of us have to go through life making the same mistakes again and again. Well, I'm trying to create this platform so that we can actually learn from one another and actually shortcut our journeys to success by learning about some of the pitfalls that other people have experienced, and some of the most valuable life lessons that have shaped some of the most incredibly successful people within our own communities. It is truly my pleasure to be here with you all once again. I can't believe we've been going strong since May, and we've had 1 week where I had to take a little break because I wasn't ready for the kids to go back to school. But apart from that, we have been at this every single week, and we've had some incredible guests over the past 2 months. But yeah, so guys, oh gosh, I'm neglecting the comments. Hey Cheryl, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, please do chime in. Let me know where you are watching from. And it's always great to shout you guys out as well. Another thing that I need to mention before I forget is that if you are joining us on Facebook, please go ahead and press that share button. Allow other people to join the conversation and be part of what it is that we are doing here. And if you are joining us on YouTube, go ahead and press that subscribe button, not forgetting to ring the notification bell so you can be informed every time we go live with another episode. So yeah, guys, let me know where you are tuning in from. It would be great to hear from you. Now, guys, this week is actually the penultimate episode for this season. So next week actually is going to be our final episode for this season. We will be back, but we're going to be taking a short break. I can see that we have Nicola. Hey, Nikki, Southeast London. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So great to have you here. Hope you all are having an incredible Sunday and gearing up for the week ahead. So anyway, as I was saying, it's the penultimate episode. We're going to be having a good conversation today, and next week we're going to be wrapping up, and we're going to be taking a little break, but we will be back with more value for you, with more incredible guests for you. And for those of you who see me sometimes looking to the side, today I'm not looking at my children. I hope they're not going to be coming in here. I'm looking at my phone because I've also got this streaming live in my private Facebook group, the Entrepreneur Support Network, and I've got some of our viewers who are watching in there, but their comments and their names and what have you won't automatically come up on the screen. So I am looking to the right every now and again, or your left even, every now and again, to make sure that I am not excluding anyone, I'm not missing anyone out. I'm excited about this week's show. I'm excited about the conversation. The person who I have is someone who has been making me laugh for years. I can even see him laughing right now. He is absolutely hilarious, but he's an incredible guy who I have the pleasure of knowing and also working with. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. I'm sure he's going to introduce himself and let you all know a bit more about him and what he does, and of course his most valuable life lessons. Before we even get into that, I really want to know what you guys are thinking about this. In fact, should I wait? Should I do this now? No, I'll have this little chit chat with my guest who's coming up. So guys, what I'm going to do for you all is I am going to play a short video. And then once that video is over, the next face you will see on your screen, and perhaps even the next voice, probably laughing, that you are going to hear is going to be my good friend, Mr. Phil Yeboah. Stay tuned, everyone.
is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile. What's the use in crying? You'll find that life is worthwhile if you just smile.
Oh, that caught me off guard. Nah, that caught me off guard. How you gonna do that, Nate? I'm like this.
I know, I'm watching you. Oh, dear.
Oh, my word.
Phil, it's so great to have you here.
Nate. Oh, I'm so. Let me just let everyone know. Yeah, I'm gassed. Yeah, I'm so gassed. Like, I watch Nay every week, you know, and I got the call. I got the golden ticket. Yo, come on now. Yes, Nay. Love that.
Phil, how are you doing today?
I'm going to give you the cliche answer, and then I'm going to go into how I really feel. Yeah. So
all right.
I'm great. I'm great, you know, feeling lovely and all of that jazz. But my tooth is killing me. I have something wrong with my wisdom tooth, so I'm not sleeping properly, as you can probably see by my bags, and yeah, it kills me.
Toothache is no joke. As someone who has given birth twice, naturally with no pain relief, I will hands down say that toothache is worse than labor. I have to be honest. Toothache is serious, you know.
Yeah, it hurt. It kills. It
absolutely kills. It's terrible. So I know you're fully drugged up at the moment, which is probably the only reason why you're able to smile right now.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. I was meant to actually take one before we came on, but I was looking at myself in the camera trying to make sure. I thought I needed a bit of makeup, you know what I mean? But you know, I got a bit into it. But yeah, we'll do what we can, eh?
Well, Phil, it's absolutely wonderful to have you as a guest on the show. And I know, you know, obviously you and I will have this banter and laughing and joking for days, but I know that there are going to be people who are watching who absolutely do not know who you are. Well, Paul certainly knows.
That's my guy, you know. Paul, I love you, bro. I love you.
And I think that's Nicola. That's Nikki who is agreeing with me. I'm assuming she's agreeing with me that toothache is worse than labor. So yeah, we definitely feel for you today. We definitely do.
I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love.
So Phil, I'm going to give you the floor right now, and I want you to introduce yourself. But as usual, you watch the show, so you know how it goes. I am not looking for the humble introduction. I'm wanting you to pull out all the receipts and let the people know who you are. What you also need to bear in mind is that I know about all the receipts.
Yeah, damn it.
If I feel that you are lacking, I will call you out. So Phil, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Phil Yeboah, or Philip Kweku Yeboah. I'm from Ghana, you know, that's it. That obviously you can, my little Ghana accent there, you know, it will jump in and out. But yeah, I am the co-founder and main arranger for Vade. Vade Vocals, Vade Sings. We were founded in 2013. I'm also, I'll get into that. I'm gonna get into that. I'm also a vocal producer, vocal coach, and a session singer. I've had a lovely opportunity to do backing for folks like Stormzy, you know, folks like the 1975. Justin Timberlake at the Brit Awards, sing on the Black Panther soundtrack, sing on the Cats movie soundtrack, and another one called Surviving Earth or some Forgiving Earth, another African show on BBC. Had the lovely opportunity of doing that and sang with some of the best, you know, jazz artists, you know, such as Beverly Knight. Obviously, she's the Queen of Soul in the UK. Gregory Porter. I can't even. There's so many. And I'm. Yeah. All right, now. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. It's her fault, guys. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that.
No,
So,
we need to get used to doing this. Do you know the
that's
reason
right.
why? And I say it often. It's because typically we are so good and we feel so comfortable, it would seem, beating ourselves up and putting ourselves down. Well, I feel that is negative and it doesn't really do much for us. I think we need
That's
to get
right.
into the habit of singing our praises, not to the point where we're arrogant and people can't stand us. But you know something, if you've been given a gift, if you have been given a talent, if there is something that you do well, own it unashamedly own it, because there are people, and this goes for everyone who's also watching at home or wherever you may be. I think according to Boris's what's it, law of six or whatever it is, you should definitely be at home or in your bubble or whatever it is, but wherever you are, get used to shouting out your own praises, to patting your own self on the back.
Absolutely.
That are well, because there are people out there who would only be too happy to tear you down and to destroy you. But you need to be giving yourself props where it's due. So Phil, thank you. I'm glad you brought out those receipts. Thank you very much.
Well, since she's egging me on, let me just mention one more in there.
Go ahead.
Come on now. Winner of Sing Ultimate Acapella with Varday. Come on now, hallelujah, somebody. Come on now. But yeah, no, my group, we won the Sing Ultimate Acapella last year on Sky One. Then we had a lovely opportunity.
When was it?
Hey, last year. That's it, last year. Mercy. I mean, was it 3 years ago? It was 3 years ago, isn't it?
Where are we? 2020, 20. Gosh, wow.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. So we won that 3 years ago. And that was great. Went to record our album at Abbey Road Studio. That was also great. We've had a lot of fun. Obviously, I will talk about all the accomplishments along the journey and all that kind of stuff in this conversation. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Phil. Well, Phil, you know how it goes. The Naomi Power Show is really built around one fundamental question. And to all of my guests who come on here, I ask them, what has been the most valuable life lesson that they have learned along their journey? Now, I'm putting the same question to you, but I don't want you to limit it to your journey within music. I'm talking about life in general. I think one of the things that I enjoy about doing this show is that although, yes, my guests are entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things, even if someone watching this wants nothing to do with business, wants nothing to do with music, wants nothing to do with fashion or, whatever, or being their own boss, being entrepreneurial, there is always something that someone can take away from what it is that is shared here. And so really, I want you to dig deep and think about what has been the most valuable, the most impactful life lesson that you have learned along your journey that has helped to shape you into the incredible man that you are today. Let us know, what is that most valuable lesson?
Okay. So I would definitely say it's never giving up when everyone else says otherwise. Even if it's those who are close and dear to you that feel like, you need to give up, it's definitely never give up. Yeah. Despite what anyone says. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, man. I think for me, that's the defining thing for me. I got that from my dad. That stubborn nature from my dad. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would definitely say that.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's break this down. So you say you've learned to never give up. If you were to pick out, I don't know, an experience that has really taught you that lesson? I know you said you got that nature from your dad, but if you were to pick out an experience that you've gone through that has really taught you the importance of never giving up, despite what anyone around you may say, what would that experience be? What can you share with us to help make this real?
Well, I would say, obviously, I live in a place called Bracknell.
That's where I was born, by the way.
Is it? Hey, I didn't even know that. I've known it for how many years? I didn't even know that. Yeah, I was born in Bracknell, Ascot to be specific. But no one in my area, obviously going to school and things like that, no one in my area was, I can't say aspiring for great things, but in the area in which I wanted to go, which was music, no one was aspiring for it. You know what I mean? So obviously when you grow up, you have this, you have a certain dream or things like that. But you're watching people that do it in America. Do you know what I mean? So when you tell people your particular dream or tell people that your preferred job, people are constantly telling you, I don't necessarily know it's you know, if it's something that you should go into for various reasons, whether it be, you know, church or, you know, money, sika, as they will say, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think one thing about me was I always wanted to break the stereotype, or just break that particular chain where it didn't work for that person. Yes, it's going to be hard,
Yeah.
but I know that it can change should I stick my mind to it. I was about 14 when I said I want to be a musician. Obviously, we're talking life, but I think where it stems from is my desire to be a musician. I had this thing where I loved music and harmony so much, and I never really learned how to read music formally. You know what I mean? Like formally, like I could obviously see the notes and stuff. I was kind of slow, you know what I mean? But I had this thing where I said, nah, I really, really, really need to learn this thing called music and understand harmonies. So what I decided to do was sit by a computer and listen to harmonies consistently and record it. And I would not stop until I got it right. And that was literally the starting point for me saying, okay, if I can do this, I'm able to do this and I'm able to do this. And obviously now I'm the man I am now today because of that small, you know, that small little gesture, or however you want to call it.
I'm interested, Phil. I'm interested to know. And by the way, for those of you who are watching, wherever you may be watching, feel free to get involved in the conversation by sending in your questions or your comments. We're happy to have that audience participation. If you've got any specific questions for Phil, I'll be happy to put them to him. But Phil, I really want to just go back to what you were saying about, you know, growing up in an area or an environment where no one seemed to want to pursue what it was that you wanted to do. I'm wondering why that didn't make you feel, oh no, this is actually not possible for me. I'm wondering what it was that made you see, hold on a minute, no one around here wants to do this, but I know it's possible. Where did that come from? Where did that idea come from?
So I think for me, as a kid, I knew that I was good at what I was doing.
Okay.
I didn't know how good I was. I just knew that I was good at it. And obviously, I think for those that know me, for those that don't know me, I sing a cappella music. And the kind of style which I started with was a cappella jazz. So Take Six was the main influence. So I'll see them doing, you know, the kind of style that I want to do. And they are professional and they are very good at what they do. So I'm thinking, okay, look, if they're able to do it, they're SDA. You know, why not me? Now, as you rightly said it, there's no one in this country that was doing it. Obviously, we had the likes of Blessed Voices at the time, 3D, who were my massive influence growing up. But they weren't doing it professionally. And I said to myself, I want to do it. I want to be the trendsetter. I want to be the guy that when as I grow, people who are younger are going to look at me and be like, I want to be able to do it, because it's like a paving the way, showing you that it's actually possible. Rather than, oh, nah, it's not possible. They're not doing it. I don't want to be the person that's following someone else. I don't mind, obviously, if God tells me to follow someone, it means it's going to get me to where I need to be. Do you know what I mean? But ultimately, if I'm not seeing someone else do it, I need to pave the way. That was really where it came from. So, yeah.
That's a really courageous and a really admirable stance. I guess I wonder, I really want to go into maybe some of the pushback that you received, you know, and let's look at it from a number of different perspectives. Obviously, of course, you know, I know where your parents are from, and I'm interested to know what their opinion was, or maybe even is, of you pursuing music. And the reason I ask, and you know, I've said it on here before, when I was growing up and I was singing, and I remember it came around the time when it was time to go to uni, and I told my parents, nah, I don't need to go to uni. I'm being paid good money to sing and to travel around the world, and I'm going to be doing this forever. So no, I'm not going to uni. And I remember my dad was baffled. He was like, all right, yeah, you can sing, but what is your job? It just didn't register.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So how was it for you growing up with this vision, with this dream, and with Ghanaian parents?
Ah, man, I'm just remembering. Okay, so I remember the time when I told them, and they gave the same response. Hey, what's it name? What are you? What are you? So that obviously intrigued. Like, what did you say? You know what I mean? And it's like my parents obviously gave me stick for years because not only did I decide not to go to university, I went to do an apprenticeship in IT.
Okay.
But then I stopped that IT and moved to London to do preaching place with whoever who remembers that. So I wasn't doing any kind of like, I was just fully in music. Do you know what I mean? So my parents were constantly, they would call my friends, oh, can you please tell Philip to come back home and blah, 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 blah. Like it was like an anxiety attack for them. You know what I mean? They panicked or you know, for them, it was definitely out of the norm. Do you know what I mean? My father, on the other hand, he was someone, he broke the mode in his family. Do you know what I mean? So he's the one that left, you know, the village back home, and you know, he decided to become a pastor, and you know, he traveled the world, traveled from Ghana to Nigeria to Norway and things like that. He broke the mode. Do you know what I mean? When everyone told him not to do that, he did it. So now when he's come to tell me, like, yo, nah, this is not what you do. I'm like, yo, you remember you that? Yeah. don't come to me. Hey, you best watch your own. But yeah, so yeah, I was literally doing what my father had told me, but it didn't come to my head like, yo, I'm doing what you told me. But it was more so like, I'm gonna break that cycle. I'm gonna do what God has called me to do. Do you know what I mean? And it was hard for them. It was very, very hard for them. I remember Harmony on here talking the other day, and Mikey talking the other day, talking about, you know, their parents not coming to terms, and it's exactly the same. So our parents, especially African parents, that it's hard for them. They want you to do the 9 to 5 and then do the music on the weekend. I remember specifically, my mom was like,
lawyer, accountant,
that's it. When like that's what you have to do. Like yeah, you've named it all. And to be honest, like even when it comes to a spouse that you need to be with, make sure that person is a doctor. Make sure that person is a lawyer. When you said, did you know that person is a lawyer? That person is a doctor, or that person is a pastor's daughter. and no disrespect to the lawyers, the beautiful lawyers, beautiful doctors, all of you. That's just not gonna get me. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, I'm inspired by people that break the mold. Do you know what I mean? That break the bubble, come out of the bubble, and even if you're not successful yet, you know, you're pushing through to get there, and that means you've got that tenacious spirit. What I say, you know, to keep on going despite what's going on. You know, despite what everyone is saying, and I rock with that. If I'm very honest, I really do rock with that. So yeah, man. Obviously, despite all these titles that my parents threw on me, I just knew that it wasn't me. It was never. I remember being in a like 9 to 5 job, and I'm at work writing down lyrics to songs, or having to go into the bathroom to record a harmony line or melodies to a song that I'm writing with someone. And it's like, I said to myself, I can't do this. I can't do this. Now, obviously, bear in mind, yes, you have to have a little side hustle. Let's be realistic. You have to have a side hustle in order to keep the money in. But there are times where the side hustle, you know, the music takes over, and you know, you can do it on a more consistent basis, and that's the key thing, and that's what you're striving for. And for me personally, that's the main thing. Like, you have to have that vision, and you have to stick by it. No matter what people say, oh Phil, why don't you, or this, or why don't you go and try this, or and do your music on the side, or do it on the weekends. Nah. You hear stories from Ed Sheeran. This guy was sleeping in people's houses. I don't think I could do that. No, I've done it before. So I say I've done it before, but like to the extent where he was going to America to do that, like I don't think I can do that. Actually, let me not say that. Because if God wants me, like, if my man was in the belly of a well, like, if you don't know the Jonah story, yeah, if my man was in the belly of the well, what's so much more me? You know what I mean? But yeah, like, Ed Sheeran from sleeping on people's couches, you know, and trying to get into the music industry to the person he is now. Like, it's determination. It's that never giving up spirit. You know what I mean? So I know for me personally, it's despite what my parents are saying, or despite what they said back in the day, I've always known this is what you're saying is not for me. I'm sorry, what you're saying is not for me, innit? You know what I mean? So
Phil, I'm wondering, you see, with a journey, and here's the thing, and you know, I always say it, and guys, sorry, please excuse me. When you will see me looking down, I'm really wondering here why my laptop is not charging, because it is fully plugged in, but for some reason, like I'm watching these numbers going in reverse, and I'm thinking, what on earth is going on?
How close are we?
Sorry?
Are you cutting it fine?
No. I'm not cutting it fine. But what I think I might have to do is I might have to call someone in here to do some investigation. I can see someone bending down outside. Mum, please, can you come and do me a favor?
Oh, Sweet's mother is there.
Can you just come and see behind there to just see if because I'm wondering, my laptop isn't charging. Don't worry, no one can see you. If you want to come and put your head and say hi. Oh, okay.
I see shadow, mommy. I see shadow.
What do you want me to do? Check back there to see why this thing is not charging. Sorry, everyone. Is it in properly? Oh, hold on. That's much better. Thank you, Grandma. Sorry about that, everyone. We were going to have a situation because I was thinking, oh dear, soon this laptop is going to say goodbye. But that has that happened yet? Okay, so where am I? All right, so this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to you about the fact that, you know, building a career in the music industry is often seen by most parents, your average parent, as pretty risky. Yes. I know my grandfather would assume that we're talking about drugs. You know, that's what he's thinking about, too much drugs, and that's going to be the music industry. He would definitely shun the idea of me going into a career in music because of the drugs. Not even the drugs, the drugs.
Yeah? The jot.
But oh, Phil, you're such a nutcase. But okay, someone else says, it's Ebenezer says, hello, good evening, guys. Watching you from Romford. Ebenezer, thank you so much for joining. And by the sounds of it, this is also our countryman, Ebenezer Addo. So hello. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so the music industry typically has a high failure rate. And there are so many people who, you know, whether we know them or whether you know them watching, who have tried this thing and have failed, and have tried and have failed. Most fail, most do not succeed. Yeah. Now, obviously, your life lesson is about never giving up. I wonder if you've ever experienced those moments when you were like, wow,
yeah,
maybe giving up is an option after all. Maybe I should listen to the voices of those who are telling me, Phil, this ain't for you. Have you ever experienced anything like that where you were really tempted to give up? Absolutely.
I would say yes on more than one occasion. I will speak specifically on this occasion when we won the show. Okay. Now, it's a bit crazy. We won the show. Why would you even want to think about giving up? But hey, Tochi. But
full name, you know.
Yeah, So basically, we won the show. We got signed to Decca Records, and you know, everything seemed great. But finances, they weren't really being quite specific, or they weren't being timely with the finances. And obviously, bearing in mind, everyone had quit their jobs to do this in music. So
you guys were all in. You had abandoned the jobs, abandoned the safety net of the. Yeah. This guy is a legend, most talented musician I know. Oh, what a lovely compliment.
That's the big bro, you know. He's the one that actually pushed me to do this solo thing back in the day.
Oh wow!
Like,
okay.
yeah, big time.
So Phil, what you're saying to me is that you already burned those bridges behind you. Like,
yes,
you said you're going all in. Leaving jobs and just pursuing this. Well, you've made it now. You signed a deal to a major record deal. you guys have made it. You guys are the epitome of the dream. This is what all those kids who are in their bedrooms writing, recording. This is it. You have your moment. Why is this linked to you wanting to give up?
So this is that. So funny thing is this. That's the perception that they give you once you sign a record deal. You've made it. And I remember when we won the show, my brother Roy will tell you this from his perspective. When we won the show, like although I was very like yeah, or we were like happy and stuff like that, I was sat there like, we have done absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Like, this is, if anything, this is the beginning. Do you know what I mean? And it I would say, obviously for some it's like, oh my gosh, they won the show, they're on TV now, they're going from Sky News to ITV News or IT blah 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 blah, they're on Sky this, they're meeting Anthony Joshua, they're meeting Thierry Henry, all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And for me it was like, okay, here's where now the planning starts. Do you know what I mean? We have to plan how we're doing this tour, because they said a tour was coming with this. We have to plan the social media. Obviously for us, we are not social media junkies at all. So we don't know how to really effectively use social media in a way in which we could capitalize this. So obviously we would constantly and consistently holler at the record label to say, okay, let's sit down. Obviously we had a manager at the time who came from the label. Do you know what I mean? And without having to slay anyone.
Yeah, we're not going to mention any names either.
Yeah, of course not. But they just, unfortunately, certain folk weren't sticking to their word. We're meant to have a meeting to sort this out. A whole month had gone by. Our tour was meant to come through, and it got cancelled. So it was just like everything was breaking down. We weren't having the meeting that we were meant to have. We couldn't even do another music video that we wanted to do for our songs. Because obviously we don't own the masters to the songs. Everything happened so quickly. We had to sign the label and the record deal just before we went on stage.
So you didn't get an opportunity to get any legal advice?
No legal advice. Obviously we had a lawyer, but by the time that lawyer was effective in any type of way, we had already signed the deal. So he was only helping us maneuver what we had. Do you know what I mean? And these are the things that obviously, if you're being offered a record deal right up front, without having to worry about you going on stage next, because if you didn't sign the record deal, you don't go on stage. Okay. And that's exactly what they said. But mind you, anyway, let me not actually say that. Let me not say I'm gonna say. Yeah, this is it. If they watch this, boy. But yeah, so it was one of those ones where, long story short, the tour got cancelled. The label became how would I say, quiet. Our manager was quiet. Nothing was going on. Everyone was all the guys in the group, if I can speak for all of them, were feeling depleted. They demotivated. Do you know what I mean? We've just gone and won this show, and mind you, bearing in mind, literally the day before the show, our auntie passed away. Do you know what I mean? Jermaine's mother passed away, and for me, like, that's another thing. That was another turning point for me when I said I would never give up. Like, this was for her. Like, I would never give up. This is what I needed to do to make her proud. Do you know what I mean? But in the time where nothing was going on, there was no money. Even the money that we were promised from them took so long to come. It was like, oh, how are we going to do this? Or why are we going to do this? You know what I mean? But then I would always tell the guys, don't give up. Honestly, something massive is about to happen. And the thing is, I would say it years before to the fellas, and it always did. Do you know what I mean? And then someone got in touch with me and told me that a certain Naomi Osei would love to have a conversation with Varday.
Can we watch the government names, please?
Well, obviously, who's that though, isn't it? Oh, so mine can come out, yeah, but yours can stay there, yeah? But yeah, there was a certain Naomi M. Powers.
Better.
Yes. And you know, so she came in and literally changed the game for all of us. She literally changed the game. She's our manager. For those of you who don't know, this lovely young lady that you're seeing right now, this beautiful African Caribbean queen, you know, she is our manager, but she changed the very fabric on the way we think about music and the way we distribute it, the way we go about how we do our music. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, obviously, I'll pay mad tribute to everyone else that was before us because they helped us along our journey. But Naomi came along and you know, changed the way we thought about music, changed the way we thought about money. Do you know what I mean? And from then, obviously, we've been on tour in Spain. We've been on tour in Italy. You know, we're currently doing our album. We've had stupid connects. I won't even mention the names in it, but it's because of Naomi that we are where we are now, and why I look so nice. You know what I mean?
Listen, Phil, I am feeling hot now. You know, shut up, you idiot.
I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. She is a godsend. You know, I mean, I can't even, like, my mind is scattered right now, but she's done so much for the group, and has motivated us so much. But the thing is, for me, Naomi was more of a sister, a big sister for me. Do you know what I mean? And that's the kind of thing that I needed, that we needed. And I kept telling the guys, because the guys were demotivated. The managers weren't really connecting with us, weren't having meetings. There was no direction on the group. And I guess this happens with any kind of business where there's a moment where it's just, you don't know where it's going or how it's going to work, you know. But for us, obviously, we're Christian. We believe that, you know, you were sent by God, man, to really realign where the group is going and how we move. And you really did. No, honestly, you really did. So she hates it when we call her boss lady because she says she works for us. But really, she really is the captain of the train, mate. You know what I mean? So, Nay.
Anyway, Phil, but you know what you've said in terms of having those moments when you're just feeling lost. Like, this is not just in music. This is not just in business. This is in life in general. I'm sure you know, you can relate, and I'm sure people watching as well who may have no experience with the music industry can relate to, I don't know, a moment in life when you're just like completely lost, completely baffled. Your morale is like at rock bottom. You don't know whether you're coming or you're going, and things are just an absolute mess. And in those moments, you know, people are tempted to throw in the towel. And in some instances, unfortunately, some people do throw in the towel. But Phil, I want to know, like, and you know, how in those dark moments, when you just, you know, you were set up, as far as I was concerned, you were set up to feel like, yep, we're ready. We got this tour coming out of winning this show. We're going to go for it. Things come crashing to the ground real quick. So for a moment, all of the people who had said, nah, this is never going to work, are like, wow, they've actually done it. And so now you've been put on a pedestal. You're, you know, as you're saying, all these news networks, you're on TV, people are seeing you lot's faces. And then all of a sudden, Vade's quiet again.
Yes.
How did that feel?
I'll tell you this, the ego wanted to creep in. I'll say ego wanted to creep in, and, you know, the whole embarrassment of it all wanted to creep in so easily. We just wanted to seep in and just continue to fester in the corner. But I always kept reminding myself when that thing would come, and continue to remind the guys that we're called for something greater, and there are always dips. In whatever career, whatever life thing that you do, whatever's going on in your life, there's always a dip. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, this is the thing we call life. Do you know what I mean? And if you know that you're called for something greater, whatever you're in right now will come to pass. But you have to be positive. You have to be proactive. And more importantly, you know, in the times where, you know, as cliche as it might sound, in the times where you are low, you need God more than ever. Let's take, for example, COVID right now. Let's talk now. Yeah. Nay, we're meant to release an album. Yeah. This
We're meant to
particular
be in
June.
LA.
Yeah, we're meant to be in LA right now.
Mm.
Yeah. But COVID happened. Yeah. We didn't release our single, we didn't release our album, we haven't even got the mixing and all that kind of stuff done. And for me, it was just like everyone in the group was like, how? Why? We're so close. We're not even meant to be here.
It was a beautiful plan, right?
Everything was laid out clean, but it stopped. And I do believe, like, as demotivated as you can become in a situation like this, I do believe that we're called for still something even more greater. In a time like this, we're now in, Grammy members. Obviously,
That's one of the receipts I forgot about, Phil. I forgot. I think you need to say that one again so that people can actually hear what's going on.
We are Grammy members, baby. And we have to thank God for that one. I kid you not, we got recommendations, and God seeing it fit has people that are on the committee saw the talent and saw the gift, and we've been recognized. So now we are Grammy members. So if we put something out, we could get a Grammy. When we put something out, we will get a Grammy. Hallelujah, somebody.
That's too funny. And my sister said
Come
the
on,
exact
Danny.
same thing. Come on.
Come on. Hallelujah. But this is it. And despite the fact that we're in COVID right now, we can't necessarily release anything. I do believe this is the time for recouping, re-strategizing, and for some of us rediscovering the love we have for it. Some of us might have been feeling a certain way or towards the music, and it's now time for us to realign ourselves and the reasons why we do what we do. Do you know what I mean? And now I do ultimately believe when we release our music, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be where it's gonna go to where it needs to go, and it's not just me talking because I'm gassed or anything like that, even though obviously we've got Naomi at the helm. I should be gassed, but look at that face.
Yeah, that's real. That's like
no, on a serious note, we have every reason to believe that our music will be very successful because of the plan in which we had. So for us, it's now just getting everything together. Do you know what I mean? And realigning.
We've got a question.
I think that's my eldest brother. Wow.
Phil, how do you balance the creative side of your gift with the business side? Is it easy to do? Great question, Emmanuel.
Funny enough, it's not easy to do at all, because especially on the business side of things, that's not something that I pushed myself to do when I was younger. I was all very music minded. I was constantly telling me, yo, Phil, do like this, do that. And I was like, yeah, the business guys can deal with that. Do you know what I mean? But I think now, obviously, as I'm older, I see that it's extremely important. Do you know what I mean? And I guess for me, Emmanuel, it'll be more so because it didn't come naturally to me. It's about surrounding yourself around people who are able to advise you in the best way to go, business wise. So there's the love of just doing it for free, and then realizing you have to pay some bills. Do you know what I mean? So now you have to say no to certain folk because they want it for free. Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, church, and I mean this with all the love, but church, they don't want to pay you, or they don't want to pay for no transport, or there are certain gigs that just can't afford it. Do you know what I mean? And you have to say no. As much as the creative side in you wants to be like, just go out there and sing. You know, there's obviously the ministry side of it too. But then there's the side that has to pay some bills. You know what I mean? And you will have to favor those moments over the creative side simply because you have to pay some bills. Do you know what I mean?
I've had to have some, you know, maybe, well, not uncomfortable for me. I'm perfectly comfortable with it, but I've had to have some uncomfortable conversations with people who have wanted Vade to come to perform wherever. And, you know, having to tell them no. And then, you know, and I don't do this in every case because to me, no is a complete sentence. But no, but it is. But you know, there are certain people who I've had a conversation with and actually had to break it down to demonstrate why it is actually better for the boys to stay at home and earn nothing rather than accept this low fee and then and go out, because really they'll be running at a loss. I don't do that with everyone, but I have sometimes broken it down for prospective clients who want you all, because the boys are amazing, by the way. Yes, I may be biased, but go check them out. Anyway, that's coming later. But you know, they're incredible. But I think this is also a question of knowing your worth. And understanding that there comes to a point when you are doing something on a professional level that we have to deal with the business. And you know, sometimes that's not always easy, or it's not necessarily something that comes natural for the creatives, which is why they have someone like me who was comfortable in saying, nah, sorry. And that's the end of it. There is no back and forth. There's no negotiation. No is a complete sentence.
It's funny, Tochi. It's funny because whenever we'll be at events and things like that, people will be coming to us. Oh, we want you for this and that. Like when Naomi said that word, just swinging my way. Every one of us, that's our manager. That's our manager. Go talk to her. She deals with it. You know what I mean? And I guess obviously it's easy. Like she takes it upon herself, and it's easy. It's lovely. But I feel like as you always say to us, what if I'm not here? Obviously, God forbid.
Absolutely.
But what if I'm not here? And, you know, we need to take on that kind of spirit where we're able to discuss for ourselves. And, you know, thankfully, we're at that stage now. But at the beginning, when Naomi took us on, obviously, we're like church boys that don't want to, you know, disappoint or upset anyone. We want to be able to maintain, you know, friendships or whatnot.
Don't want to be like a diva. Oh,
yeah. Who says that?
You lot were saying that.
No, but who says that in the group though?
I'm not mentioning it today.
Diva. Whoever's on here knows exactly who that is. Diva.
And I'm wondering why they're keeping quiet, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Phil, another question has come in.
Sure.
How do you maintain motivation to be creative? All my energy and brain space seems to go on work.
And I guess this goes back to what I was talking about when I was at work. Rest is something that's key. Absolutely. You have to rest. There are times where I'm working on a score or I'm transcribing an arrangement that was done for us, and or I'm arranging from scratch. So a lot of the time when I'm arranging, I don't arrange from piano or anything like that. Everything comes from here and I sing straight in. If it's not working, you don't force it. You must go and do some extracurricular something, or just rest. Rest is absolutely key. Drink a lot of water. Keep your mind on something else so that your mind isn't constantly working, or keep it in a more restful state so your mind isn't working. I know for me personally, when I've got to do something else, I focus on that. But then I don't put all my heart. When I say I don't put all my heart into it, it's more of a case of I always leave room for rest so that I'm able to how do I say, give my all into something else. So if I'm like, for example, if I'm having to do the business side with Vade, I do what I need to do. Then I allocate some time to rest. And then after that, I know I need to go ahead and do some arranging for however many hours. And then again, rest is key. And the reason why I say that now is because my father had a stroke And my father, as much as he's a hardworking, extremely hardworking, and my brother Emmanuel can vouch for that. But he worked so hard to the point where his body couldn't take it no more. Do you know what I mean? And that was the biggest thing for me. That changed everything for me, because I used to arrange all the way up into and I still do, but not as much as I used to. I used to arrange all the way up into the night, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And then I'll sleep and then wake up early again, and then arrange, and then obviously go to work. And it just wasn't helping me. And my father, like, seeing that,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It I think for me it broke me. It made me realize that obviously my dad, as much as he was Superman went on for a bit too long, and Superman didn't rest. You know what I mean? And I guess that work became his kryptonite, and it broke him. So you have to have time to rest and to make sure you're rejuvenated. And Africans, we don't like rest. Us ethnic people, we don't like rest. We do the nursing jobs, we do all of that stuff, to pay the bills, the care jobs to pay the bills. But then we overwork ourselves, man, and ultimately it breaks us. Do you know what I mean? So we must find time to rest. Don't force it, and allow that creativity to flow when it comes. You know what I mean?
A comment from Nyabingi Gage. I'll definitely leave her name like that. If it's not working, don't force it. I love that.
That's it. And it will work in its time. It will work in its time. And I go to like friendships and relationships as well. Not even in the creative space, but like, if things are just not working, do not force it. If it's yours, it will be yours in the time that it's coming.
Okay, now you've got a question. You've got a question that's also come in, but you've actually made me come up with another question based on what you've just said. I'm going to take my question first, if you don't mind, Nate, and I definitely will come to your question. But Phil, you said that this whole about not forcing it. If it's not working, don't force it. What about if your music doesn't seem to be working? When do you decide, all right, or how do you define forcing it? Because I wonder, if you see much of a difference with being tenacious, with being, persevering, keeping on, and how do you differentiate that between that and kind of beating a dead horse? How are you? Some may ask, are you forcing this music thing? Like some people may say, if it hasn't worked for you by now, like what you guys, Vade started in 2013. We're now 2020 going into 2021. Are you forcing it, Vade?
That's actually a very good question. So let me just make this very clear. When we started in 2013, we were only doing the church rounds up until 2017. So we weren't industry up until 2017. Now, when we went into now, so I would say we are now professionals from 2017 onwards. So we're babes in this thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, still quite young in the game.
Yeah, we're very young in the game. With all the experiences that we've had, we're still very young, and we've got a long way to go. So I would definitely say, if we quit now, it would be very stupid, you know what I mean? But I think for me, it's more of you have to mix logic with emotion or the feeling. You know what I mean? You have to strike a balance. I think for example, us, we are good at what we do, especially like, I don't feel like there is anyone doing it like we do. Do you know what I mean? Specific to our sound. All it takes is for certain folks to hear what we do. There's that, but I feel like when this is not it. And not only that, there'll be people who are around you who will tell you this particular sound that you're working with isn't necessarily hitting. And I'll say, like, in the case of, they are the ones who are helping you go forward. So not only are they saying this ain't working, but you should try this. You know what I mean? They're saying this, I don't think this is a good idea. Try this. But they're not just saying, oh, stop. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people will be telling you, I don't think this is for you. You should stop. Do you know what I mean? Whereas there'll be people who will be telling you, you should try this. or you should try this. And only you are going to know whether this is for you to stop or not. You will know it in here. Obviously, you got to be smart. You got to be logical with how you go about it. There's always trial and error. You're going to fail. In order for you to succeed, you need to fail. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to be smooth sailing. You have to find the balance of it all.
Okay, thank you. So Nate's question now.
Yes, Nate.
Are you most proud of?
Wow. Nate, I'm going to have to tell you, bro, you haven't heard it yet.
I was about to say.
Yeah. You haven't heard it yet. When you hear it, or when it's released, that will be the one. And I'll let you, I will message you personally, Nate, and tell you this is the arrangement. Because yeah, I've done some pretty cool stuff, but I would definitely say that the arrangement has not been released yet.
It would have been if it's not for COVID.
Yeah, if it weren't for COVID, yeah. If it weren't for COVID, oh man. I'm gassed for that one, you know. I'm gassed. Yeah. I'm gassed. Yeah, man.
He says he's looking forward to it.
Yeah, sure.
Phil, like we've been chit-chatting for coming up to an hour now. And you know, we've touched on many different topics, and we've dipped into little different areas. And you know, there may be people who have maybe just joined us now. There may be some people who had to leave early, and or there's going to be some people who've stayed throughout the whole time, but they've been overwhelmed by everything that has been shared this evening. I want to know, if you were to sum up, if you were to sum everything up in one point, or if you were to have one message that you'd want us all to carry forward into the week ahead or in our lives going forward, if people were never ever to come into contact with you again, what message would you want them to walk away with?
I would say, whatever you're called to do, or whatever you're passionate about, do it to excellence and do it to the best of your ability. And when you're doing that, remember or have in mind the legacy you are leaving behind. And that's all I would move by, my legacy. I'm doing this to spread the gospel and to you know, to leave a message behind and to give hope and love to those around. But most importantly, the legacy I will leave behind for my children and for those that I have influenced in some type of way. Yeah.
Talk to me about the legacy. What is it that you want to be remembered for?
Continuing. When everyone said no, when everyone said don't pursue this, when the chips were stacked against me, as they say, you know, I want to be the guy that was remembered. Oh, sorry, I want to be the guy that was able to push through no matter what. And not only that, he was able to be the first a cappella group in the UK to be represented all over the world. Black, especially the first black group, male group that is anyway. I know that Black Voices is doing it. Hallelujah. But we want to be the first male group, R&B jazz, to make it all over the world. And more importantly, I want to be able to allow my nieces and my children, God willing.
Any babies yet, Phil?
Hell no.
Okay, I'll just check in.
But yeah, just to inspire them to pursue whatever they have a passion for, and to set a trend. If it's different from anyone, don't give up. Set a trend and go for it. Be the best that you most possibly can be. That's the legacy, to be fair. And I'm pretty sure you will inspire at least one person. That's me.
I love it. I love it. So Phil, so tell us now. I'm sure there are, I'm sure there are people who are wondering, Where can they hear more? So, guys, just in case you were wondering, the beautiful voices that you heard in the intro video that had Phil like that completely caught him off guard. Those were the beautiful, amazing sounds of Vade.
Hallelujah.
And so the question is, Phil, what have you got going on now that people are? Look at this lovely message. You are necessary for the culture.
Oh, totally, bro.
Keep it on. I love that.
Thank you, man.
So those amazing voices. If you want to hear more, then Phil is going to tell you all about how you can hear more of what it is that they have going on. But Phil, I want to just really hand it over to you now for you to. This is your time to promote what it is you're doing, what you've got going on.
Yes.
How we can connect with you, how we can support you going forward. Because I'm always banging on about the importance of supporting our own when they are on the way up, not waiting for them to get that Grammy before we start celebrating and before we start applauding. No, we need to be doing it now whilst you're on the way up. So talk to us. What you got going on? What can people buy into? What can people tap into? How can we support you?
Okay, first and foremost, I'll start with me, then I'll go to Vade. You know what I mean? So I'm a vocal trainer. I do vocal lessons for people, 30 minutes to an hour. You can catch me on Instagram, Philip_Vade.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. So yeah, obviously
_Vade.
What's that, mate?
Philip_Vade.
Come on now, I've got to represent the group now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, mate?
Philip.
So she's ahead of the game, isn't it? She's ahead of the game. It's Phil. It is. Did I say Philip?
Yes.
So it's Phil_Vade. I'm a vocal trainer, and I do session music and things like that for movies and whatever. And even if you just need to talk music, if you want me to do arrangements and things like that, yeah, give me a shout on there. But for my vocal training program, I'm going to be releasing a trailer, so you have all the details and things like that. But if you cannot wait, just holler at me on my Instagram. Now let's move to Vade. Yeah, come on now. All right, so this is my group. This is where I do a lot of my arrangements for. We're going to be, throughout this particular winter season, we're going to be releasing little covers and things like that, and medleys. We're going to be doing a lot of medleys coming up this particular season. So I want you to jump over there, follow us, give us a message and that kind of stuff. And if you need me to arrange anything for you, obviously at a price, of course, that's how we get that money. If you need me to arrange anything for you, I am most happy to do that. Just give me a shout either on Vade or my personal one, and we can, if you want Vade to be on the track, then give Vade a shout, give Naomi a shout. To be honest, you have to get in touch with Naomi, you know what I mean? But if you need me to do something separate to Vade, then you just give me a shout, and yes, I will be there for you, no doubt.
Lovely. So yeah, guys, head over to Phil's Instagram, head over to Vade's Instagram, and follow. Head over to their YouTube channel, subscribe, stay even on Facebook, go and stay up to date with what is happening in the exciting world of Vade. We've got lots planned.
That's right.
We're waiting for the right conditions, better conditions than this.
That's
to be
right.
To be able to get back to executing our strategy, and we've got lots of exciting things planned.
Hey, I want to say something just real quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we're about to wrap up now, but I want to say something real quick, a quick tribute. Today is the passing of Aunt Janet. And one of the things that I said to her, and I promised that we will do this when she did pass. So this links in entirely to the message. You know what I mean? Though she may not necessarily be here to see the success, her words that she would always consistently tell me will reign and will continue to stay in me. Do you know what I mean? For me to be able to keep going and to do this. So if anything, rest in peace, Aunt Janet. and we're definitely going to do this no matter what. As much as it's for everyone else, this is for her. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick.
Thank you for sharing. Guys, gosh, it's been a great time. Thank you again, everyone who has tuned in. Thank you for everyone who has liked, who has commented, who has shared, who has subscribed. Thank you all, because I guess without you all participating, we simply would not have a show to talk about. So thank you so much. Okay. Also, massive thank you to you, Phil. It's been a pleasure having you with us this evening. We have laughed as I always do.
We didn't even go in. We didn't even go in, guys.
And it always happens, you know, because I'm watching the time, and I guess I'm mindful of the fact that it's officially a school night, you know.
That's right.
And so I know people got things to do in the morning. So I'm not trying to make us go over and above. We're not doing no more 2-hour shows.
Yeah.
Those days are done. Those days are done. Lockdown is over.
That's right.
Although we might be going back into a lockdown, so they say.
You never know. You never know.
Gosh, yeah. But seriously, Phil, thank you. I really do appreciate your openness and your vulnerability, and just sharing your truth with us this evening.
No problem.
And just to let you all know, actually, that in fact, let me just try and bring this up on the screen now before we sign off for the evening. If anyone is interested in business and is maybe perhaps looking for some support on their entrepreneurial journey, you are invited to join the Entrepreneur Support Network, which is my private Facebook group. And within this group, we have free training sessions every Monday evening. I'll hop on live to be able to share some value with you all, whilst to inspire you, to motivate you, and to educate you on your entrepreneurial journey. This road can be lonely at times. And it's nice to be able to be in an environment with people who are like-minded, who have the same sort of goal, even if they may be on different paths, but about achieving that success. And we can grow together and thrive together. So you are invited to join us ahead of our session tomorrow. Also, I will say, I think I can make it official now. As I mentioned before, this is the penultimate episode. Next week will be our final episode for the season. And next week is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit special. Phil, why are you smiling? Why is this guy smiling? I'll let you know that next week is going to be a little bit special. Things are going to be a little bit different. And we're going to be ending the season with a bit of a switch up of the vibe. It's not going to be the same.
That's right.
And what I will say is that we will have a special guest doing the interviewing. And I'll be taking the hot seat. So I'll be sitting in Phil's seat. I'll be sitting in Phil's seat, and I will be answering some questions. And there will be a special guest who will be interviewing me. Oh, Emmanuel says, thank you. You're already a legend. Oh, isn't that so sweet, Phil?
That's my big bro. Bro, you already know the score, man. That guy is my inspiration. He works extremely hard. My brother, he works extremely hard, man. I want to be like him.
Oh. And you're most welcome, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. But yeah, next week, because I've been sitting in this seat asking questions for months now, and it's been I've had a number of people send messages saying, yeah, but we want to know about your story too. We want to hear from you, from your perspective. And so next week, I have a very good friend of mine who is no stranger to this show, Mr. Paul Bordeaux. And we are going to be going back to back, and he's going to be sharing. Oh, Shay says, oh, she can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I was a little apprehensive at first, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. So please do join us again next week at the same time, 8 p.m. sharp, for the season finale. Let's call it the season finale of the Naomi and Power Show, and we'll be back. So Phil, once again, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for being so gracious, and we're probably going to have to finish this off again another time, because again, we didn't go as deep as we wanted to get this conversation. But yeah, there's a lot more wisdom where the wisdom that you received from Phil this evening came from. So I do hope that you'll be able to join us again in the future. Phil, if I offer an extended invitation to you, I hope you
100%.
Oh,
100%.
wonderful. Wonderful. All right then, guys. So that's it for us. Yeah, I guess I shall be seeing you all same time next week. So have an incredible rest of your night. Go to sleep, stay in your bubble, and get ready for an incredible week. Go out there and make incredible things happen. Make it count. All right, guys.
That's it.
That's it for me. Take care, everyone. See you, Phil. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.